So I'm curious, who here has used AI as a tool to help envision new watch builds? Well, that's exactly what I did a few weeks ago, and today I'm going to bring that AI creation into reality. What is up everyone, I'm Jason from jb.watchmods, and today I'm going to bring this AI generated image into real life. So how did I come up with this image? Well, I started on ALIEXPRESS hunting for parts for a new build. Now I knew I wanted a VK63 Chronograph, so that was a good starting point. From there I came across these parts. Now I loved them all individually, but I had no idea if they would work together as a completed watch, especially because they're a little bit out there on the color spectrum. So from there I uploaded everything into ChatGPT and asked it to generate an image of a watch using the parts in the picture that I have uploaded. And that is how we ended up with this image. Now I quickly went into Photoshop and added my own logo just to see how it would look, and I was really happy with the results. So I went ahead and ordered everything needed for the build. And that brings us to today, where we've got everything ready to go. So let's take a quick look at the parts we're going to be working with. So I've got a vintage style 39mm VK63 case. Now it's got a mineral crystal, and depending on how this build goes, I may just upgrade that to a sapphire crystal further down the track. This is the dial that we're using, and I absolutely love it. The white contrast against that Tiffany outer ring looks absolutely awesome. And I've got my own logo printed on there as well, which came out perfect. And if you do want to learn more about that, I've got a full video over on my Patreon page. Now we've got some pretty bright coloured hands here, and I'm hoping they contrast against that dial nicely. But we will see, as these hands are pretty out there, brighter than anything I've used in the past. And I've gone with a nice brown vintage leather strap, which should hopefully contrast the colours of the dial and handset nicely. Now it seems like I've gone with a bit of a contrasty theme for this build. Normally I'm building for cohesion, so we will see how this watch turns out. And lastly, we have our movement, which is the VK63 Chronograph movement. Now, it's a battery-powered movement, but has a mechanical chronograph module to give you that beautiful sweeping large second hand. So that is everything that we're going to be using. I cannot wait to see how this is going to come together. So let's jump into this build. Okay, so let's grab our movement, which is the Seiko VK63. And the first thing we're going to do is install our battery into the back of the movement. Once you sit the battery in, it's held in by a small clip that's built into the movement. Once we've done that, we can grab the crown from our case and screw it on to the crown stem that should have come with the new movement that you purchased. Now, the reason that we're doing this first up is so that we can insert this into the movement and use the crown and crown stem to control the movement while we're setting the hands. And once we have our crown stem inserted into the movement, I'm going to rotate the movement over until the date wheel just starts to move, indicating that we're almost at 12 AM. Now, I'll come back to why I do this shortly, but for now, I'm going to grab the dial and get ready to fit it to the movement. Now, this dial was specifically made for the VK63 movement, which means it's nice and easy to fit. There are two dial feet on the back of the dial, which simply press down into the movement. Now that I've got my dial fitted and it's sitting flush all the way around the movement, I'm going to start to turn the movement over until I hear that date wheel click, which shouldn't take too long as we just had that date wheel starting to move before we fitted the dial. Or you could just remove the date wheel totally before fitting the dial. So now that I know that the movement is at 12 AM, I'm going to set the hands accordingly, and first up is our hour hand. Now, to be honest, I'm pretty curious about how this handset is going to look. The colours are pretty bold and far brighter than anything I've used in the past, so I'm really excited to see how this combination is going to come together. So now that we've got our bright yellow hour hand placed at 12 o'clock, it's time to move on to the minute hand. And one thing I really like about this blue minute hand is how it matches the dial. I think it really ties the whole combination together. So once I get that minute hand pressed on at 12 o'clock, it's time to double check everything and make sure that everything we've done so far is looking good. Now this involves rotating the movement over 2 times just to make sure that everything lines back up at 12 o'clock and that we can hear that date wheel change as well. We also need to check that our hands have the right clearances. We don't want the hour hand fouling on any of the indices or the hour and the minute hand hitting each other. And once we've confirmed that everything is good, we can move on to the next hand, and that is going to be our 24-hour counter. Now to set this hand, we need to make sure that the movement is at 12 AM, and then we can go ahead and set this hand at the 12 o'clock position. That way our 24-hour counter will be in sync with our hour and our minute hand. And when we rotate the movement over, we can see that that 24-hour counter is working in sync with our hour and minute hand, which is exactly what we want. And we also need to check that that hour hand isn't going to foul on the subdial hand. And it looks like everything is good and lining back up at 12 o'clock. So now we can move on to the next hand, which in this case will be the seconds hand. Now this hand operates independently of all the others, so we don't need to worry about pressing it on in a certain position. So now is the time to check if that second hand is actually going to work. And like you can see here, when we push the crown all the way in, that second hand starts ticking. So now we're going to move on to setting the hands for the chronograph. And to do this, I like to operate the chronograph first and reset it just so I know that we're starting from scratch. So I use a screwdriver to push in the top button of the chronograph first, which starts the chronograph. Then I push it again to stop the chronograph. And then lastly, I push the bottom presser once to reset the chronograph. Then I like to rotate the movement just to get the other hands out of the way so I have a clear view of 12 o'clock. So now we'll do the last subdial, which is the 60-minute timer for the chronograph. And as we've just reset that chronograph, we need to make sure that we line this up directly at 12 o'clock. And lastly, our pink central second hand. I absolutely love the color of this hand, and I think it contrasts so nicely against that blue and yellow. Now when fitting this hand, we really need to take our time to get it precisely at 12 o'clock. Even if it's slightly off, it'll be fairly noticeable as that hand doesn't move unless we operate the chronograph. And we only get one shot at it, as apparently the pinion isn't perfectly round, which means that when you press the hand on, it forms to the shape of the pinion. So if you try to take it off and put it back on, you'll never get it centered perfectly because it'll always return to the original position that it was pressed in. Okay, so now that we have all of our hands pressed on, we can remove our crown stem. And to do this, there's a small button on the back of the movement that needs to be depressed in order to pull out that crown stem. I use my ring finger to pull out the crown while applying pressure with a screwdriver using my forefinger and thumb. Now let's grab our case and get it ready to accept our dial and movement. So first thing we need to do is clean our crystal. And to do this, I like to use my lens pen and an air blower. Just make sure that you take your time during this stage, as you really don't want any dust or debris under the crystal once you put the watch together. Once you're happy that everything is nice and clean, we can sit our movement on our movement holder and put the case over the top. Now, when I case my VK63 movements, I always put the right side of the case over the movement first, just to make sure that those chronograph pushes clear the dial. Then, once we've got our movement in our case, we can pop in our crown stem. Now, this is looking pretty good to start with, but that crown is still sticking out about 1 millimeter. So I'm going to remove the crown and take about 1 millimeter off that crown stem, just so we can get that crown nice and flush against the case. Now to do this, I'm just going to use my side cutters just to trim a tiny bit off this crown stem. Then once I make that cut, I'm going to file the end of the crown stem down with my Dremel just to make sure that there are no sharp edges that could damage the threads. Next, I'll pop some Loctite on this crown stem just to make sure that that crown doesn't come loose. And now that we have the crown fitted to the crown stem at hopefully the right length, we can test fit it back into the movement and see how it's looking. And it looks like it is spot on. You also want to make sure that you don't cut that crown stem too short, as the crown stem won't lock into the movement if it's too short. So now that's looking good, we can grab our case back and get our case back gasket. Now, before we fit our case back, we're going to lubricate the gasket in some silicone grease. This should just help that case back go on nice and easily without any issues. And on this watch, our case back gasket is installed on the case back itself. Just something to look out for, as not all watches use this design. So now we're ready to screw on our case back and seal this watch up. And I always start installing these case backs by hand just so we don't damage the threads on the case back. Some cases from AliExpress can have bad case back threads, which can make things a little bit difficult sometimes. So now let's remove our spring bars, and oops, I'm sure we have all experienced a spring bar going flying across the room. Oh well, lucky I've got plenty of spares. So let's move on and fit our watch straps. So we've gone with the brown leather strap, and this one has quick release spring bars, which on this strap are actually pretty good. I love it when straps have good quality quick release spring bars, as it makes changing straps super quick and easy, and the best part is you don't need any tools. So I will have this model of watch up for sale on my website if you are interested in picking up one for yourself, or I will leave everything linked in the description below if you want to build it yourself. But now let's flip this watch over and see how it looks. Hang on. Before we wrap this up, let me just try one thing real quick. I just want to try a different strap that I think will look good as well. So let me do that and then we'll see which one looks better. That is going to do it for today's build. Now tell me, which strap did you like better? Personally, I think I prefer it on the metal Jubilee bracelet, but it is surprisingly versatile and looks great on both options. Okay, so here is the comparison photo. On the left is the watch that I've just built, and on the right is the AI generated image that we came up with at the start of the build. What do you think? I am really surprised at how well the AI has done in mocking up our parts, and our final product is surprisingly close to the initial concept that we came up with. I think it's done such a good job that this may just become a part of my regular workflow. I mean, it could save me hundreds of dollars helping to envision new builds rather than buying parts to experiment with. Anyway, I would love to know if you've done this in the past or if you think you'll give it a shot moving forwards. But that is going to do it for today's video. If you've got anything out of this video at all, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all in the next video.